My name is Dominique Kennedy, and I tell stories about conversations. So I was traveling and I was having a conversation with the manager at a location for which I was traveling to. And I was speaking with this manager about my experience, about my background, just about things I've come across. And one thing that I was able to share in this conversation is that most things are not about what a person can or can't do. It's oftentimes about what they are willing to do. So there's a difference between I can or I won't or I'm unwilling or it's never been done. A lot of times when we ask questions, it's this, well, no one's ever asked me that before. Or actually, we've never done that here. But there's a difference between we can't, we won't, we've never done it, we're unwilling. So I was explaining to this person, I'm like, when it comes to this culture of care, you always want to think about what allows a person to maintain a level of dignity, what allows a person to be held in the highest regard when it comes to honoring that person? Because when it comes down to it, it really is about a human to human experience. We can talk about class, we can talk about race, we can talk about all the isms in any given situation. But what it comes down to is human to human interaction and a person's experience in a place or with another person. So I was talking to this manager and I said, I've been places where someone has gone out of their way to simply create an experience for myself or for my family or for the people I was with. I've also been places where people have done literally the bare minimum. I'm not sure if they were having a bad day. I'm not sure if they were inexperienced. I'm really not sure if they just didn't want to be there. I cannot make a decision for anybody about how they show up or what they decide to do as they show up. But I can say there are some people who are truly invested in this culture of care, truly invested in making sure a person's experience is exactly as it should be in that place. Therefore, they create a memory, they create an opportunity, they build a relationship, they create something that makes someone reflect on their time in a way that's positive. So, in having this conversation with this manager, I was asking a question about something that they simply said, we just have never been asked that. We've never done that. But again, it circled back to, well, is it that you can't? Is it that you're unwilling? Is it something that's in your policy that prevents you from doing that? Or is it simply something that you have to ponder on differently because, again, you've never encountered it? There's a difference. But when you talk about problem solving, again, thinking about this culture of care and how you can hold someone in high regard so that they have a positive experience, there's all kinds of ways that can be done. I literally solve problems all day. I write policy, I create experiences. So I know what can and can't be done in most places. Oftentimes it just requires someone to kind of think out of the box or find a solution that was not initially thought of or thought about. But it generally can be done. And I think in this case, it wasn't that I was asking for something that was out of the way. It wasn't even that I was asking for something it wasn't something that was too much. It was simply something that was unfamiliar. And what I know about people is that the unfamiliar either excites people or it can give them pause. In some cases, it might scare them. There's things that give me pause, but in this case, it wasn't that. So, having this conversation with this manager about this request that required a bit of thinking through, we were able to settle on the fact that yes, indeed, it can be done. And I appreciate that you're willing to do it. And perhaps in this case, it'll give you an opportunity to think through for other people how you can create an experience that makes them want to return again and again.